UGGMUGG here.
Donald Glover is arguably one of the most talented people in the industry right now. We've heard this time and time again, but this man can truly do it all.
Like Childish Gambino, like Donald Glover, what do you call him? Nothing. You know, he just does everything.
He's been extremely successful with his acting, music, writing, and directing. But today we're going to be talking about his musical pursuits, specifically his debut album, Camp. Now, Camp is an album I don't hear talked about much these days, which is kind of odd, because the rest of his discography is praised and beloved by pretty much everyone on the internet. But when it comes to Camp, I don't hear a lot of people talking about it. So this got me thinking, does Camp hold up almost a decade later? Let's find out. One of my good friends put me onto Childish Gambino. Him and I used to listen to music in his living room and show each other different music. One night, he asked me if I had ever heard of Childish Gambino. I told him no. The follow-up question he asked me was if I had ever watched Community and if I knew who Troy was. This I did know, and he then proceeded to blow my mind by telling me that Troy, aka Donald Glover, put out a rap album. My friend put on Camp and we listened to it from start to finish. On my first listen of the album, I remember loving every single song. I remember being impressed with Childish Gambino's flow and his singing voice. Later that week, I begged my sister to drive me to Best Buy to buy Camp on CD. At the time, I was collecting CDs like crazy and I wanted to add this album to my collection. For the following years, I continued to listen to each new project by Childish Gambino. I kept being more and more impressed with each new release. However, I think once I heard Because the Internet, I didn't really return to Camp that much. The main reason for this is because the internet is just so damn good. Now, returning to Camp about 5 years later is an interesting experience to say the least. Camp has been on repeat for the past week or so. I decided to listen to it in many different environments. I listened to it in the car, at the gym, in my room. Hell, I even listened to it on vinyl. And at night. Yes, I went full doomer and drove around listening to it. And sadly, I didn't take that much out of it this time around, which is so strange. I remember bumping this album non-stop when I first heard it. I remember creating so many memories with this record. That line on Sunrise where he says, "So when you're skating in your driveway, you're not alone," that line hits home. My friends and I used to skate in his driveway and listen to this album. We'd blast it on a speaker and just try to land a kickflip for hours on end. Those are some of my favorite memories. I think as I've gotten older and have experienced new things, this album just doesn't hit me the same anymore. It's extremely easy to spot out all of its flaws. Now, if someone asked me what I took out of this album, I would say 3 things. Donald Glover is nerdy. He's constantly referencing, I guess, nerdy things. Vader Zim, Super Smash Brothers, Rugrats, Tron. The second thing I would say is Donald Glover has an Asian fetish. He's constantly bringing this up on every single track.
Finding you's like finding Asians I hate. Asian girls everywhere. UCLA. Forget these white girls, I need some variation. Especially if she very Asian.
To the point where it's a little disturbing and also annoying. It almost just ruins the song each time he does it. There's plenty of examples. And I'd say the third thing is this. Kind of ties in with the first one, is that Donald Glover feels like he's not black enough. And this is for a number of reasons. I think, like I said, it ties in with the first thing, is he feels like he's too nerdy. Feels like he doesn't fit in for a number of reasons. For wearing short shorts, for liking nerdy things. I would say this is the biggest theme of the entire album. I'm not even joking that these 3 things are all I can remember after listening to this album probably 10 plus times. Like if someone asked me, what is Camp about? I'd probably tell him these 3 things that I just listed. But the end of the album had, I guess you would call it a skit, to make it seem like it's a concept album, but it just isn't. We don't hear about this character going to camp at all throughout the whole album, till the very end. I know the Bonfire music video is kinda related, but this is different from the boy that appears in Because the Internet. I don't know, I feel like I might be missing something here. I know he mentions that he never got off the bus, and camp could be just an idea / mindset, but then if that's the case, the whole Because the Internet screenplay wouldn't make sense then. I mean, it doesn't really make any sense anyways. Okay, let's talk about all the good things about this record to me. Just a reminder, this is my opinion. Just remember that with all of my videos. The biggest pro to this project is the production. I love the production on this album. especially the more grand tracks like Outside, That Power, Sunrise, and the second half of All the Shine, leading into Let Her Home. That transition is beautiful. Let Her Home was actually one of my favorite tracks listening to the album this time around. You can definitely tell that a lot of tender love and care went into this project. I mean, there are videos online of Childish Gambino working on this album, and you can just see the passion that man has for his craft.
While they be sleeping, I be on that new shit. While they be sleeping, I be on that new shit.
I'd also say that, at some points in the record, Childish Gambino's vocals are spot on. He also finds some really good flows throughout the album. The lyrics may not be the best, but the flows are great at least. Ugh. Speaking of the lyrics,
I make the beat retarded, so I'm calling it a slow jam. Butcher and I know it, man. Kill beef, go.
some of the lyrics on this album are hard to listen to. Going into this album, I was genuinely excited to revisit it, but a few tracks in, I was constantly squirming at some of the god-awful lines. Here's just a few bad lyrics that literally made me want to die. I keep it wrapped until I meet the right one. Cause I ain't Mumford. I ain't trying to have sons. Ugh. Something crazy and Asian Virginia Tech. I'm not coming on that real shit. I'm coming on her Facebook. I'm not trying to come hard. I'm trying to come me. What's the point of rapping when you can't be yourself, huh? That's why I come first like my cell phone. You get it? Like an iPhone? I've seen it all. Like I'm John Mayer's penis hole. Like, what the fuck, Donald? What the hell is this shit? There's absolutely no way he wrote that and said to himself, man, this shit fire. Like, that shit's so corny. I know it might be a little bit nitpicky, but damn, these lines just hurt to hear. However, there are a handful of clever lines on here that still hold up and parts of the record that genuinely made me laugh. Another thing with this album, what the hell is up with the high level of misogyny on this album? Like, I'm not trying to virtue signal or make a statement, but bruh, some of these lines just made me so uncomfortable. Like, they don't seem tongue-in-cheek either. They felt genuine. Here's just a few. Most girls see clothes and try to gold dig. Most hoes poke holes in Trojans. There ain't no breakage in that Trojan. She see what she wanna see, so I make her take plan B in front of me. Ugh. Met this fly Latino. I hope that she 18 though. If she's not, I'll say that I got deep throat and he throw. That's not gonna hold up in a court of law, Childish. That is definitely illegal. Chillin' with a Filipina at your local Jollibee. Yeah, I'm in her ass like sodomy, so if you see my hand under the table, don't bother me. The fuck wrote this, Bill Cosby? Oh, damn, are some of these lines off-putting? I don't know, when Tyler rapped about dumb shit on Bastard, it didn't faze me as much. And I listened to that the other day. I don't know, maybe it's easier to tell when Tyler's serious and joking. Something about Childish's delivery or the way he phrases something or says it, it feels like it's genuine. I'm dead serious. This sounds like something an incel wrote. I do appreciate Childish Gambino's honesty on this record, but I just don't want to hear about the same insecurities for every single track. We get it, you're nerdy, and you feel like you don't fit in, but please stop telling us this every single track. That's just not enough content to hold me for an entire album. It's cool for maybe a few songs, but not an entire album. Sadly, this album just has not aged well for me. It's hard for me to listen to now, and I legit kinda regret buying it on vinyl, because I know it's not gonna get any spins. Who knows, maybe I'll do a giveaway. That way, someone who enjoys the album can enjoy it on vinyl. It's cool to see the progression Childish has made over the years. His rapping has improved, and his singing voice too. It's incredible to see how creative this man is and all that he's done. One last thing I will say is that this album did help me get through a lot of hard times when I was younger, but there's just some things you fall out of love with, and sadly, camp is one of them for me.